Welcome back, guys. God, it's been a while. It's still the same day for me. I've just changed my shirt. Should not be telling you guys that. I just twanged my new fucking piercing when I was changing my shirt, by the way. Bad idea. Should have just kept with the same shirt. It was the wave, but with a capybara on it. Billy got it me for Christmas. Love it. Should have just kept it on. Because I've just instantly told you that it's the same day anyway. But I was going to moan about my piercings again anyway, so... yeah, I got my secondaries. Anyway, should we get into it properly? Should we actually talk about York? Should we actually do the video like a normal person? I will let past Exza take it away with the start of this video with me dancing away in the mirror. Don't know why. Don't know why. Enjoy. I'll be back. Yeah, shake that. Totally not embarrassing at all. And then I found a chessboard, because me and my dad get up a lot earlier than my mum, because I'm used to working at like 4 in the morning, and he's just working at 6 in the morning, so we get up like a lot earlier before my mum does. So I found a chessboard, and my dad taught me how to play chess, which I had never played before. I think I used to play like the Microsoft chess when I was like 5, but I don't know what I was doing. This was like the first time I actually knew what I was doing. And then you've got some selfies of me and my mum, and then she made me take a picture in my weird outfit. It wasn't even weird. A hoodie and a skirt is always a weird one to me. I like it, but I don't at the same time, and I don't know why. Scream. And the skirt was like a little bit long because I've lost weight, and it like was a bit too big. But oh well. Still repping the Demi Lovato jumper though. So that morning we were like, well, what do we do to start the day? And my dad was like, you don't want to go around like the whole walls while you're here, do you? And I went, you know what? That's what we'll do to start the day. We didn't actually end up going around the whole of the walls. Hole in the wall. Fucking hell, who remembers that show? But we did go around like I think we were at the north bit. We were at the eastern corner tower and fortress area. That's what happens when you check the video properly, Exza. Boom. Maybe I should write scripts for these, because otherwise I'm not going to... I just ramble. I don't know what that was. Guests followed me home from York. Onto walls. Onto walls. Yeah, the walls were really cool. Like, really cool. Like, I know we only went like across one of the short bits.
We are standing above the remains of the eastern corner tower fortress. That'd be that.
But just being able to look out over like castle style walls is really cool. This is the wall that goes around the whole thing. Not when I've seen it from here anyway. Well, yeah, but you see a little viewing platform thing, you go up the little viewing platform thing. And we got quite a few good pictures up here. I think these are some of the favourite pictures I took just because, I don't know, like just the mugginess. Mugginess? Nah, that's not the word I'm looking for. But like the ones where, like these ones where I've got the trees and the wall and everything, I was like, oh, gorgeous, I love it. You got like the autumn leaves and shit, and then you just got my ugly mug stood there with some trees. I took this picture because it was weird, because it was like the juxtaposition of the old style Victorian house style building and then just like a fucking glass office right next to it. After this, wandering around, we managed to find our way back to the Shambles, which is where we kind of tried to find somewhere to eat for breakfast at that point. But you can see like Rollies fudge and all that stuff, gelato, and obviously as soon as I saw Rollies fudge I was like, Rollie from yeah. Well, so we managed to find a cafe on the corner, which I pointed out. We did wander around for a bit trying to find somewhere, but I was like, you know what, this place does like paninis as I call them, and it also does like bacon butters for my parents, because I don't eat bacon but they do. They're easy to fucking get food for, let's be honest. I am not. I am a fussy motherfucker. So yeah, we went to Shambles Corner Coffee Shop, which was really cool. They gave me this bistro. Do you like the bistro? I liked the bistro. I think that was... I had a mango lassi. Because the place was Indian owned, and as soon as I saw it on the menu I was like, oh, I gotta get a mango lassi. I fucking love a mango lassi. It's basically just like mango milkshake in a way, but made with like yogurt instead of milk, if that makes sense. Very nice. And then my food was this really nice halloumi, sun-dried tomato and pesto panini, which is really good. And the chips, I mean, look at those chips. Fries, look at those fries. Tell me they don't look good. I think they were like double baked or something, or double fried. That's, you know, just said the word, Exza, come on. But yeah, really good. I love a bit of halloumi as well though. Oh, I love a bit of halloumi. And then my mum wanted some pictures of me down one of the little wonky donkey alleyways. So yeah, that's me posing under one of them. This was just after we went around the market, so we had food, then went around the market, and then we were kind of like coming out and wandering around and stuff, and that's when that happened. And then this is just a picture of the Shambles outside one of the Christmas shops that they have. We were looking for the big one because my mum wanted to go in it. I don't know, it's not really mine or my dad's sort of thing, but the Christmas shop, we found a little one down the Shambles. Apparently the one was like on a different road. We did walk past it, but we were practically going home at that point, so I was like, nah, fuck that, you know. One of my favourite shops that we went in the Shambles was the Alchemist Society. I fucking loved it. It was so good. And yeah, I will let past Exza and my mum show you what it was, because it was so good. It's so good. At least I don't have an artax sinking into the mud. I loved The Neverending Story growing up. Loved it. It was such a good film. I honestly fully can't remember it now. I'm not gonna lie, I need a rewatch. But yeah. Then we found these little dragons. Are they not the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen? Like, hello? Cute. Obviously fell in love with this, with the black and blue one that you've just seen there, the black one with blue eyes. But there was all these different colours, and I was like, oh my god. I actually really love the blue and green, which is not like, I don't do green, you know. I was like, oh my god, blue and green, oh, he's so cute. And then there was like the purple and black one. Honey, my two favourite colours, of course. There was so many of them, and I loved them all. There was also like all these music boxes and jewellery and so much. And my mum found a Nightmare Before Christmas music box, which is what she's just sort of piped up about, and she's like, oh, let me try it. Doesn't know the speed of which to do it, so it's like, are we sure this is Nightmare Before Christmas? I think you're doing it too quickly. That doesn't sound like Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know if it was supposed to be Jack's Lament or if it was supposed to be... Oh wow, I'm showing my emo side right now. Jack and Sally's song. Couldn't tell because my mother was winding it, so I don't know what it ended up being. Tell me if you think you can discern what it was. So when we walked in, and I think you can hear it in the video, me saying, well, at least it's not Artax sinking into the swamp of sadness. So one of the people that works there came up to me, didn't she? And she says, well, actually, I've got a perfume called the Swamp of Sadness. It's got a picture of him fucking drowning on it. Guys, when I say that that film traumatized me, I ain't joking. I ain't fucking joking.
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, we kind of walked like back down to a different church at this point, I think it was. Just made our way down, had a wander around. Because our plan of action, they asked me, like, because obviously they said you like museums and shit, why don't you look into what museums are around and stuff. Museums. Ezza. So one that I found was called the Adventurers Guild, I want to say. This one. This was the one I found, and I was like, cool, that sounds really cool. They didn't want to do it. So instead we ended up walking down the side of the river to the York Castle Museum, which had the York Castle on the hill, not the Ed Sheeran song, or the way I interpret it as the Nottingham song, because we've got a castle on the hill too. But yeah, we ended up going there instead. By the time we got out of the museum, unfortunately the castle on the hill was closed. We couldn't go in to see, but yeah, we'll get into York Castle Museum, and this was honestly like, I think we were in there at least 2.5, 3 hours at least, and it was, you know what, they have so much there. You basically, instead of like paying, so you do pay a fee, but instead of like it going to like whatever, it goes to like the upkeep, a donation basically, which was kind of cool. It was a really cool place, so I'm gonna let past Ezza take it away. I will be popping in and out, but yeah, this is the York Castle Museum. Enjoy. This is how you'd have your house if you could.
No, it ain't.
So yeah, they had these exhibits that were basically like the old rooms that they would have looked like and stuff. Obviously they had all these old artifacts that they'd found and everything, which was really cool. I didn't really read any of the things. Yeah, but while I'm editing, I'm going to read through the signs and shit, you know. I do like educating myself, but I prefer being like, oh, look, shiny. Meeches. I've not got to that bit yet. This place was like huge. Like huge. Like it was penny farthing. I know what that is. Ginormicus. And there was like all these different wings to it and stuff. It was really cool. That's where we are.
Oh, as well, yeah.
I should be in there. Yeah, they had a lot of like old stuff. Obviously when I read the Kirk Legacy, my brain goes to Captain. Apparently that's not it. Apparently it's not Captain James Tiberius Cock from Star Trek, the original series. Oh, come on, you guys must be nerds if you're watching me as well, right? Yeah, it was really cool how they made like these little rooms that looked like how it would have looked back in there. And they obviously like went through the time periods and stuff, so from when like, I'm assuming it's from when like this place was first built, all the way through, and like how the rooms would have looked. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? And then this was like the weird window room that showed like the street. So the whole thing of this place is like, yes, you've got the museum, whatever. This room in particular that you're like looking out over through this window is made to be a recreation of how the old streets would have been, which is so fucking cool. Love that sort of shit. Love it so much. And yeah, more of like how the rooms would have looked. That cardboard cutout in the corner was creepy as fuck. I did say how uncomfortable that baby crib would probably be, but you know, I mean, everything here just looks uncomfy to me. It's like, oh yeah, solid wood, that's good for the back. And then we got to the art of motion room, which was very strange to go into after you'd just seen all like this Victorian style stuff, but I'm not even going to say anything about this next bit, just enjoy. Just enjoy. What is that?
What am I doing?
Yeah, I'm not actually too bad at doing the robot, am I? I used to do street dance. Self-taught, but you know, yeah, there's not much for me to say about that. Let's move on. And then we got into the section that was all like the old clothes and like going through the clothes in the decades and shit. Hoop skirt. I love clothing. I love history. I love fashion history. So, you know, I was kind of in my element, just like looking around, seeing everything. Honestly, I wish they made glasses nowadays that look as good as glasses back then did. Just saying. You know the really tiny circular ones that were like sunglasses in like the 90s? I want some. Can't fucking find them anywhere though, can I? Bullshit. Bullshit. I mean, honestly, the fashion that was in this place, I'm like, that's next level, bro. That is like, if that was on a runway today, it'd be, oh, where's all the deflating balloons and shit? If you know, you know. But runways nowadays are literally just like, let's push the boat for the sake of it, but not like something that anybody would actually practically wear. Whereas back then, I can imagine like all of these being on a runway now, and everyone would be like, oh my god, that's so cutting edge, that's so cool. And obviously, fashion makes its rounds. Every however many years, you know. So, well, hey. Look, I'm a twat, and we all know that by now. Let's move on. They had a little dress up bit. So I put on one of the jackets, and my mum wanted a picture. I don't think it looked too bad with the outfit, not gonna lie. I don't think beige would work with it, but you know. But yeah, I just took like pictures of everything because I just love fashion so much. So enjoy these pictures. Fun fact, the red coat on the right here, I have one like that. Need to find it out of my wardrobe, but I have it. I call it my pirate coat. Pause. This here, if anybody's seen Peter Pan Goes Wrong, you know, right? You know? You know. And then we went into like the weird seaside part, which every museum seems to have, even if it's not next to the seaside. Can we talk about that? Bit weird, right? Bit weird. And then we went through to this bit which showed like kitchens through the years, which was really cool. This one here, my dad said that can't remember if it was his grandpa or so. There was something, and this was basically how his kitchen was when he died, and that was only what, like 20 years ago. But I think this was the 50s 60s style kitchen, so he'd had it like that for like a long time. This one reminds me so much of my nana's house growing up. It's insane. Like the little stool table thing. Oh my god. And then the tile and the really old like 70s style cupboards and cabinets and stuff. Oh, it's like base game in The Sims. Shouldn't talk about The Sims, so you've stopped doing Sims videos. Stop it. The old stoves, they're just so gothic looking. Love an old stove. I mean, look at that. Brilliant. Love it. I've always wondered if the brickwork being painted black was like a special fireproof paint, because believe it or not all bricks are fireproof. I'm just saying. Or if they were just like, I'm a gothic bitch, let me paint everything black. I see a red stove and I want to paint it black. Love it. Love that stove. I'd have that stove. Wouldn't know how to use it, but I'd have it. Just for the aesthetic. And then all the old like bottles for stuff. And like the old utensils. I just love seeing old things. I know that sounds really weird, but like just how they've upgraded even in the past like 50 years, 100 years. Like at the moment, yes, we are with a standstill with new technology, new things, blah blah blah. Compared to our history, like how quick we went from like the Industrial Revolution all the way through to like this generation is insane. But then obviously we have sort of tapered off because all the new technology they care about now is AI, and I'm not getting into that one, honey. No way. But yeah, just seeing also it kind of gives me nostalgia, even though I wasn't there for it. Does that make sense? It's like cool to see how far we've come as humanity. Give me a little bit of hope, you know, because most of the time, let's be honest, I hate humanity. Fucking hate us. We are a plague. We are the scum of the earth. But seeing shit like this just reminds me, like, you know what? We did that. We did that. You got like your old like laundry room and stuff. Fairy has apparently not changed in a very long time. Yeah, this was the homemaker things, and I was like, hey mum, that'd be you back in there. She's like, no, I ain't doing all that. That's not what I was saying, but okay. Pretty sure I've seen Biddy in both of these outfits at one point or another. And a real life penny farthing. Look at that shit. Well, that's not a penny farthing. That was the two-seater bicycle. Scary shit, bro. Scary shit. Why you want two people doing that? Yeah, you had all like the old bikes and stuff, which was really cool. And then the penny farthing. How anybody ever rode that thing, I will never understand. But I know somebody that can ride a unicycle, so you know. And then the obligatory mirror selfie, except I took this one because look how cool that freaking mirror is, dude. Look how cool that mirror is. I want that as a mirror. I love shit like this. I don't know why. It's just... See, I'm not really an old aesthetic girly. I'm not an old aesthetic guy, but just seeing stuff like this, I'm like, yeah, I want some vintage stuff. I like some vintage stuff, okay? Mostly the, like, gothic, weird-looking stuff, but, you know, other things too. Like, my shelves. I have them there, I have them here. They all have, like pipework kind of, steampunky kind of look to them. Love it. Because you need some old school style stuff. You can't just be a beige mum all the time, Clarice. I don't know who Clarice is, but she's a beige mum apparently. And then this was like the weird going into the underground bit. So this was like the start of going onto that street thing. So I'll just show you like how that went. What is it? Undertakers says up there. But it says up there.
Yeah, Undertakers.
Yeah.
Join an Undertaker.
And it was really cool. Like they had all these little rooms that kind of showed you like how the different shops would be and what would be in them. I'm making editing so much harder for myself. Oh, look at that tiny chair. And they had like all the old items and stuff, which was really cool. Like my thing was finding the old camera. That was like my favourite. This is an old camera. That's an old camera.
Projector. Projector. It's a camera.
It's a camera. So they'd put a cloth over their head so they could see properly, and then they'd take a picture. I can't remember how they fully did it.
That's touch. Nice touch.
By order of the Cocoa Room pianists. And obviously my mum found the piano, and that was really cool to see. Even the pianos, let's be honest, haven't changed much since back in the clocks, and just, I don't know, I'm like a bird. I want to fly away. No, every time I see a mirror, just got to wave at camera. Just got to wave at camera. I don't know why. It's like an impulse.
Hello.
Yeah, it's an old camera, Mum. Look.
You'll have to carry one of them around with you.
I think my camera's bad enough. Hello.
Oh, it's going.
Just stand up on the door and see.
Castle plague, infected place.
Is that why it smells so bad? Well, that's the street. Do we not want to go back round and up and round?
Well, up is back where we come from. We just come out the toilets and then...
I know, I mean back round. Don't want to miss no. Yeah. See, otherwise we would have missed stuff. So yeah, then we move on to like the actual street bit, which was really cool. Again, I'll just let past Exza take it away. And yeah, let's see how it went. Stop knocking the door knockers. Somebody's ringing the bell. Tell me you're British without telling me you're British. Look at these glasses. You know what? I've looked for sunglasses like this, you know.
Them little round ones.
The little ones you clip onto your nose. Because they were a thing in the 90s. You can't find them no more.
No, I thought you like them. It's a thing like that. I thought you like them. On the street, you have to wait back there.
Dunno. It's disappeared. Gone off yonder. So yeah, it was really cool to see like the old carriages and all the old shops like laid out as they would have been back in there. It was really cool, and just the aesthetic of it, you know what I mean? Like, just gorgeous, loved it. Do you reckon we're allowed on the coach? Probably not, eh? And I will say around this time is when, because I would normally take my camera, my actual recording camera, on trips like this, but I thought this time, you know what, we're only there for a few days, I will just take my phone and record from my phone. This was around the point when my phone started getting full of memory, full of videos that took up my memory. So there is little bits like missing here and there, but that was fine because I'm like, honestly, even though I've shown quite a bit of this place, guys, go see it for yourself because it was so much fun. It probably doesn't have to take over 2 hours, 2.5, 3, whatever it ended up taking. Probably doesn't have to take that long. We just like to potter, you know. I like to wander around a bit and get lost in some cases. Oh, I found a fox. Oh. I did get very sad seeing the fox thing. But I find taxidermy cool, and like I said in that clip, at Wallerton Hall, which is close to us, near Nottingham, they do have a taxidermy exhibit, so it's not something I've never seen before. You know, I've been seeing it since I was a kid, so I'm kind of desensitized to it, but, you know, seeing a fox one is like, no. As a fox myself. Poor fox. That's a big ass fish.
Right.
Look at it.
How about its teeth?
Yeah.
That's what penguins catch.
I know. God. No thanks.
And they all do.
These look like some of the ones they got at Wallerton Hall, you know. This object is very fragile. Yeah, okay. But yeah, all the old stuff, and then they had like a dress, like a Victorian bit, and I did put one of the hats on my head, and then was afraid I would get lice because kids probably do that, you know. So I took it off and put it back in the box and ran away. There was like all these old cool books and stuff, and like it was like a garage kind of place, which is what this is. A carriage house, I guess would be the term for it, which seemed a bit too modern for, but you know. And that's where like one of the other carriages were. I think there were 3 in total. There might have been 2, but yeah, I don't know what it is like. Do you guys get it? Have you guys ever been here or like been to a place like this where it's like a underground recreation of something? Does it not like feel so cool? Like, it's just cool to me. I'm like, this is a human thing that we have made to replicate how we used to live, so we could see, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's like even the lighting, they're like, oh, let's make the lighting more yellow, let's make it more old school, honey. You know, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, do you guys get that, or is that just me being weird? God, it stings. Huh? Did you go back that way? No, this street in particular was like one of my favourite parts. I know that sounds weird, but like they were playing like sounds over it, and like the smell wasn't as bad as the fucking Viking ride, but it did smell a little bit. And yeah, like I said, the lighting, and then there'd be like shadows going past all these windows and stuff, which are obviously like meant to be there and everything. I don't know, it was just so cool. Oh, this is the back street we said.
Yeah, I found the toilet.
Yeah.
There's poo in it.
There's no fossilised poo then.
I found the toilet.
We've got to go back to Sweet Shop after we've looked down this little one. Hello? Alright.
God, there's so much to see, isn't there?
Ooh, they got a bedpan. Looks gross. Got a little bird in that case.
I used to live. Well, so lucky, aren't we?
Yeah, sure.
Come on.
I know, but I mean, well, you can go in this one. That's your bathhouse.
Yeah.
Hello, that were me.
Was it?
I don't know. Ooh, be careful. Unfortunately, around this part in particular is when my camera turned around and said, full battery? That'd be great. No, when my phone turned around and said that your memory is full, you have to delete things, I was like, shite. Let me delete all my old, because WhatsApp automatically downloads any fucking photo or video anybody sends you for some fucking reason. Sometimes it comes in handy, other times, no. But yeah, so it did that, and obviously I was like, shit, let me, you know, delete all my older WhatsApp shit. And then it worked. So then we went into this, I think the next one's an apothecary. But obviously me and my mum and dad are talking, I'm like, it's an apothecary, and then they're like, it's a pharmacist, it's this, it's the, yeah. So, enjoy that. Yeah. This is your apothecary, right? Doctors.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
Chemist.
Holland and Barrett.
The pharmacist.
Yeah. Yeah, after that, because my memory was obviously mostly full, I was like, let me swap to taking pictures for a bit, so I will walk you through the pictures now. We have like the old sweet shops, and like there was one of the actor dudes that was talking us through certain things. So cool, it's just so cool seeing all it. I mean, look at that, like the wall with the windows on it, and that's the window that we were stood at earlier, if you remember that one where I took the peace sign. Another carriage and everything. I didn't even notice a fucking gargoyle up on the wall there. Like, honestly, it's just so cool seeing all this old stuff. I am such a nerd for this sort of thing, honestly. And like more little side street things which were awesome, and like the police station sign is somehow blue. How did they do that? How did they make the glass blue back in that day? How? Oh my god, this next part is like kind of embarrassing, but I was like, I've always wanted to do this. Hey mum, take a video of me doing this, so enjoy stupid pasteza.
That was in the session. I dismiss you.
Wasn't that fun? And yeah, we like carried on, and then we went through to the cafe because we're all really thirsty at this point. So I was like, near drunk. So my parents both had a coffee, I think. They did not have. There was a lot of stuff out of stock. Let me just say that. So I asked for an orange juice, I think. They gave me pulp. Honey, I don't do pulp. It's texture. The texture. Why would you? Right. Anybody who likes pulp, can you explain to me why you would go out of your way to have gross little bitty bits of in your orange juice? Please explain to me. Because even if I have a normal orange, right, I peel all the pulpy bit, like all the little white pith. It's like me saying piss with my lisp. All the pith off. Pith off. Fucking hell. No, stop it. Chill out, bro. Stop ADHDing all over the place. Fucking hell, calm down. Yeah, I literally peel like all the pith off of the orange, and I can't have any of the little rindy, gross, piffy bits. So how can you drink that shit? No. Anyway, after this we went through to this weird bit that had a Punch and Judy thing in it. Anyone remember that? That's the way to do it. And then my mum put on a weird hat and sat in a weird fake car. I don't know why. Yeah, and then there was like a real old car, and oh my god, I love it. Vintage aesthetic, bro, so cool. And yeah, this was the start of the bit through the war bit, which was kind of cool. So I'll still be here. I will pop in and out. Let's get into the war part of the museum. You got a big enough gob. I think this train carriage was one of my favourite parts, to be fair. It was so cool. And then I found this little foxhole thing. I knew could go in it, but I was very worried about getting stuck. Yeah, I mean, you came out at this bit, but I was like, I'm gonna get stuck if I go in there, so I'm not going to. I could have done. There's all like these old guns and like this old typewriter. I want it, but I already own 2 typewriters, so I probably shouldn't get a 3rd. But this one's vintage. I mean, all typewriters are technically vintage now, right? Yeah. This body gas. I am so sorry. I probably just like really badly whistled into you. Then, if you can't hear my lisp from this close up, then how? This old this old gas mask is what my nana had to use when she was in it. You know, the one for babies where they put you in like a full-blown body bag basically with a gas mask on the front. Yeah. Love you, nana. She's not actually in a body bag. I feel like I need to clarify that. She's alive. She's still here. Oh. And yeah, it was just all the old like war stuff, everything that would get sent out with, like the police uniforms and the guns and all the badges. Don't get me wrong, I wanted some of those patches because I love a good patched jacket, but probably look a bit weird. And this old nurse's uniform, like I don't know what it was, but like going near it gave me weird vibes. I don't know why. It wasn't like bad vibes. It was just like weird, like, oh shit, somebody wore this while they were trying to save people's lives. You know what I mean? Is that weird? Or is that just, you know, I don't know. I get these weird existential moments. Yeah, this teddy bear, guys, let me tell you. When I say about things like Robert the Doll, and stuff like that, and you say, look, even if you don't believe in this stuff, that doll's haunted, let's be honest. Like, if people fucking die after they disrespect that doll, like, Robert, please don't kill me, by the way. I mean, if it's my time, it's my time, but, you know, what the fuck was that? Shitting hell. I'm offending the ghost in my own house now. But no, this bear's fucking haunted. Look at him. He looks adorable, don't get me wrong, but this bear is from the war, bro. This bear saw some shit, man. This bear's haunted. I felt like taking a picture of him. I was going to get haunted myself, but I'm already haunted, so it's fine. There's all like the really big old guns and stuff. Oh, it's so cool. I love... Right, see, I'm weird. Like, I love looking at like wartime stuff and like, because it's our history and everything, you know. But I don't like... My least favourite genre of film is action film or war film, because it's like, that shit actually happened, you know, like... Yeah. Same with games. I don't really do like shooting games or anything other than like Borderlands, but that's like... It's nothing like... You know, I couldn't play like a World War II game or whatever. That's probably why I don't like World of Tanks or World of Warships or anything like that, because it's just not... It's not my aesthetic, bro. It's not my sort of thing. And I don't judge anybody that does. Most of my friends play that shit all the time. I just... For me, I don't know what it is. It's just like... Not my genre. It just feels weird. I don't know. Like, I'll watch some films and TV shows. Like Band of Brothers was quite good. But yeah, it's not really my thing. Not really my thing. But like, even this room here, with like the motorbike in it and everything, that room also said about like, before the end of the war, this many people had been recruited and this many of them had died. And it's like, shit, bro, this stuff actually happened, and to this day it's still happening in some parts of the world. Let's be honest. Not something that I'm going to delve into, because it's not really for me to talk about, you know. It's not really my place to say anything on anything, but it's fucked, you know what I mean? This is what I mean, like, humanity is fucked. We are stupid, and we should just get along. And I know that's easier said than done. I know there are like reasons for it, but I don't know, that might sound like a very privileged opinion, but at the same time, it's let's be honest, most of it is millionaires being dickheads, getting themselves into trouble and fighting over this, that and the other, when we could all just get along. But you know, I'm not going to talk and all that stuff, but like, looking back at like war stuff, there wasn't a need for it. There wasn't a need for it. Some fucking dictator decided to fucking... Yeah. Anyway, the next part was like this weird prison-y bit. So you go into like this outside courtyard thing, and it's got like the old prison yard and all that stuff. And then there was like this weird sandbaggy game where I was like, hey ma'am, let's go chuck this sack. It was a sack of sand, I think, is they've got in there. You remember them from school, surely. Am I really old? Do they not use those anymore? I don't know. But yeah, the little sacks, and then you got thrown for the hole. We played a bit of that. I won, of course. I managed to get a 60 point. Oh, my mum barely got a 10. And then we went into this next bit, which was all like 70s, 80s, like... I think it was 70s, it was like all the Beatles and like all the old TV shows and like all that jazz, and I fucking loved it. Fucking loved it. Especially because this was the first thing I saw. You press a button and it brings up different TV shows, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, I've clicked the right fucking one, mate. Because I know exactly what it was straight away. I had just been rewatching the first couple seasons of Doctor Who when I clicked on this button and it started. So... yeah, enjoy the old Doctor Who. I think that was the best rendition anybody's ever done of the Doctor Who theme tune, might I just add. And like the old motorbikes and shit, like honestly, oh, I'm such a whore for vintage, even though I don't really do vintage. It's weird, it's just weird, I don't know how to describe it. But like the old fashion and the old fucking everything were just so cool. And then this was the castle prison, which was an actual prison. Obviously we'd seen the courtyard, but then like after the 70s exhibit thingy-mabobby, then you come into the prison. And yeah, it was really cool in here. I love prison tours, even though it is, I guess the mentality is kind of similar to the war thing, like did we really need to be as horrible to these people as we were, that sort of thing. No is the answer to that, but I'll let my friend here introduce you to the prison.
My name is Thomas Ward, but God help you.
Hello.
You call me sir or master turn.
Oh, madam, got you.
If you want food, you see me. If you want drink, you see me. Clean room, clean bedding, you see me.
And then we did a little, I don't know what it was, it was like this light that was like shining down. It's supposed to be like a manhole cover or something, I suppose. I said to my mum, I was like, that'd be a really cool like weird lighting picture to do, so can you take a picture of me? And yeah, I like experimenting with photography, especially when it comes to like selfies and stuff. I'm like, another selfie, no, let me try something new, let me try some like, you know, weird experimenty thing with it. But I thought that were a fucking shadow person, then it's just a person walking past the doorway. Yeah, well, the old, like, what are they called? Shackles? There would be shackles back then, wouldn't they? I was going to say handcuffs, but no, like shackles and stuff. You have all the old graves and like where people used to write on the walls and everything. And the old guns that the officers used to take around and stuff. Like, it was really cool. I didn't get as much of the prison as I probably could have done. I thought I had more than that, to be fair, but obviously my phone was being weird because of the memory thing, so it might not have filmed or pictured everything, so I do apologise for that, but I, you know. And then obviously we went outside to try to get into the castle, which is also known as Clifford's Tower. We did try to get that sorted, but it had already closed at that point. But here is like a bit of history on it and everything, which made me really sad when I read it. And then here is a couple of thumbnail options. I don't know why my mum wanted one that way, but you know, I said to her, you got to take it sideways, duck. Got to take it sideways, otherwise it ain't gonna be a good thumbnail. She's learning. I tell her every time. I don't know why, but this building really intrigued me, so I took a picture of it. Look at it. Look at that shit. Look how cool that is. God, it's like hodgepodge. It's like the Winchester Mansion. It's just, I don't know why I just love things that are just like smushed together to make like a building or a building. Oh, fuck it. You know what I mean. Like, honestly, I was obsessed with this, but I took like so many pictures of this building. I think I also wanted to draw it, so if I end up drawing it or painting it, I will upload for you guys to see, I guess. But yeah, this building I took a picture of because look how slanted the windows are. You can literally see where the building is like subsided a bit. How cool is that? Like, it's terrifying, but it's so cool. And then my parents were like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, on the first day when we were walking to the Jorvik Museum, one of the first things I spotted was a Van Gogh exhibit. And for those of you who don't know me, Van Gogh, or as Beatty says, Van Gogh. Van Gogh is my favourite artist. I love him so much. His whole story and everything is just... I will get into it. Here is the Van Gogh exhibit. So yes, while I show off the obligatory mirror selfies, because I needed a break after we came out of that 4D experience thing is what they called it, I was a little bit upset, not gonna lie. How do I explain this without sounding so weird? So, I'm an artist, right? I did art history all throughout my life. I have always done creative courses, creative everything. I did triple art at GCSE, then went on to do games design at college, and then graphic design at uni. So I've always followed the art route, right? I mean, I might be a writer, I might get more money for my writing. However, I am an artist through and through. Anything creative, I always say, but art has always been that bitch, you know? And Van Gogh, especially his story and the fact that he hardly made a penny in his lifetime, and yet now his paintings sell for millions and millions. It's just so upsetting, dude. Like, he never knew. I'm making myself upset right now. See, can you? I've literally got tears in my eyes. I'm literally like, bitch, you have told this to so many people. Why'd you still get upset over it? He never knew how appreciated he would be. Never. He died thinking that, you know, I don't know. I can't even get into it because I'm going to cry on camera and that's just going to be really sad. But it's also like, so the song Vincent by Don McLean, if I listen to that, it's because I want to go cry. I love that song. Very good. Very good. Also think the line ragged men in ragged clothes might have inspired the first series of Matt Smith in Doctor Who. Maybe the episode where he goes to meet Vincent, you know, ragged men in ragged clothes, and he was called the Raggedy Man. And I don't know, but maybe. But also, one of my favourite episodes of Doctor Who. Just the ending bit with Bill Nye talking about the impact that Vincent van Gogh has had on so many people and on the world in general, and like he actually gets to hear that. Oh, I'm gonna make myself cry again. Everything, I love it. And honestly, a bit weird, but I didn't really used to like Van Gogh, but that was because at school they made us do a project and they gave everyone a different painting of his, and I just got like the sunflowers, and I'm not a big fan of sunflowers, right? So I was like, I don't really like this painting. So for a while I thought, oh, I probably don't like the artist and the rest of his stuff. Very childish way of viewing art, I know, but and then I saw Starry Night, and I saw so many of his that were just gorgeous. And he became my favourite artist, especially after I heard about his backstory and everything and learned more about him. My voice is getting very choked up right now. No, honestly, Van Gogh, favourite artist. Sorry to ramble so much about it. I don't know how much of that I'm going to leave in and how much I don't, but I knew when I saw they had an exhibit I would have to come and see it. And I mean, just look at the thing was, right, so after we came back out of the loo and we went up to the next bit, they had this wall of like people had come to this exhibit. You get a piece of paper and you get to draw whatever you fucking want. And so my dad didn't come in with us because he was waiting for us. He wasn't too fussed. I tried to convince him, he wasn't fussed, so he went to a Cafe Nero and me and my mum went in. And I was like, shit, if I had time I would literally sit here right now and draw for hours upon hours and just like take in like people's versions of his art. And I mean, just look at it all, bro. They're like, these are people, right? Bear in mind, this is like a tiny portion of how much people would have actually gone here. A tiny portion of people that now know his story and shit. And yet there is at least that many people just being like, hey, I need to see the Van Gogh exhibit. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. I really wanted to sit down and do my own painting, but I couldn't. And then like they showed some of his most famous ones. Honestly, I don't really know what to say at this point. I've already kind of had my ramble and my rant. But in this particular picture is where they say the price that each of his paintings sold for. And yeah, like, this is the part where I did almost cry in the museum. Which I know is sad. I know it's sad, whatever. I feel a lot of things, okay? But no, this was the part where I almost cried, because just seeing how much everything sold for, and he never knew, you know? And it just makes you think about, like, legacies and what you're leaving behind and shit, and I always think, like, well, I don't want kids. Most people in my family don't want kids. I am not going to get a partner that does want kids when I don't want kids, so never going to end up having kids. That might change in the future, you never know. I'm not having people argue with me in the comments, because it's happened before when I say I don't want kids, whatever. But it's like, honestly, the only things that I will have that people can still look at and be like, oh my god, this person lived and was alive at some point and did their own shit, was like my YouTube, or my old VODs from Twitch, or, you know, like my art online and my writing and commissions, whatever I've done for people, and tattoo designs, I guess. But then obviously that person's going to die at some point as well anyway. Let's be honest, bit morbid, but you know. But it's literally like, let me put my thoughts in order. It's literally like you never know what you're leaving behind. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm not fussed about dying. I'm not fussed about that. However, what am I leaving behind? You know? Wow, this video got really fucking deep, bro. Do you remember when I were doing the robot? Yeah, that was the Van Gogh exhibit. I think I rambled more about that than I have anything else in this series, and it wasn't exactly very long, but you know. Now you all know my favourite artist, as an artist myself. Congrats. I also got that blue hat, which, yes, is a Van Gogh hat. It's the cherry blossoms. And when I saw it, I was like, you know what, I don't really do blue, but I need to get that hat. Like, I loved it as soon as I saw it. I'm like, do I really want another hat? I'm like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. And I also got these, where are they? Yes, they're on my desk still, because they're going to go up when I get my own place. I don't even know if you heard any of that, but I also got these little quote card things. One says, I often think that the night is more alive and more richly coloured than the day. True. And for my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream. And I'm like, I love those. I'm going to put them up when I get my own place. It's like a little decoration. I probably sound really pathetic right now, but you know, I don't care. Fuck you. So yeah, we left there. I kind of tried to chill out a bit. I don't think my mum knows I was close to crying, but I kind of like wandered off at that point to just sort of chill. And then we went to Mr. T Bubble Teas because we were walking past, and I was like, oh, really want a bubble tea? And they had like this really cool like thing on the floor and stuff, so there's us waiting in line, and the really cool aesthetic place. And yeah, this is me with my bubble tea. This is mocha milk tea with lychee bubbles. Oh yeah. So yeah, I got the matcha with, did I say lychee bubbles? Oh, fucking very nice. I think it was lychee bubbles, but obviously I had to drink that quite quick because then my parents really wanted food, and I was like, oh shit, if I'd have known that I would have got it later on, you know. But so there was this Indian place that my parents went to when they went for my mum's birthday, and they weren't like, they thought it was a bit overrated compared to what everyone said. Everyone said it was like raving about it, and they were like, yeah, it was okay. But I spotted this other one just through Monksgate. It's called Bombay Spice, and it smelled really good when we were walking past. I mean, all Indian food smells good, let's be honest, but I was like, shit, that one looks really good. Should we go in? Because we were looking for ages for somewhere to eat. So this was Bombay Spice. I had a spice rum and coke, classic for Exza, and some pictures of me and my parents just chilling in the blue lighting. And yeah, this was the meal. So I had a, did I have a makhani tikka? No, I didn't. I had, well, it might have been a makhani, you know. I had, mine was paneer, because I like chicken curry, but ever since I tried paneer, I'm like, I'm having paneer, fuck you. So I had paneer tikka. I think it was a tikka. I might be wrong. It might be a butter chicken, but I think it was a tikka. I had mushroom special rice, which is like the rainbow rice kind of stuff that's like really sweet, and a Peshwari naan, which is the one with coconut and raisins in it. Very nice. Loved it. I love a good curry though. And then my parents had this, because they were unsure what to get, and I just went, guys, look, there is this platter thing at the top that comes with like 4 different dishes and your naan and a couple rices or whatever. Why don't you get that? So they did. They said they really enjoyed it. One of the dishes was actually paneer, and they said they didn't mind it, and I was like, but it's not meat. What's wrong with you? You both love meat. You both moan when it's not meat. But no, they both really enjoyed it. So I was proud of my selection for that one. And then, so my mum had sent me this the night before, because we were looking, when we were like chilling out the night before, watching TV or whatever. We're trying to think of what we could do the next day, which is how we like found the museums and stuff. And I said, well, we need to go on a ghost hunt while we're here. Well, a ghost walk. If it was a ghost hunt, honey, I never would have gone home. But the ghost walk. So we were looking through like all the different ghost walks and stuff, and we found this one, which is the original ghost walk, which is like the first one they ever did in York. Still going to this day. So we found this one, and yeah, this is how it went. So yeah, we waited at the side of one of the old pubs, right on the riverfront. Which was really cool, being around that area. We didn't really go down near the riverfront very much. I think if I go again, I'm going to try, because look how gorgeous this is. I mean, so yeah, we waited around here for the guy to turn up, and I'm just going to let him take it away, because he was a really good speaker. Because he was a really good speaker, and I mean, I guess you kind of have to be. Let's be honest, if you're leading a ghost walk or anything like that, you kind of have to be good at speaking, so yeah, this was the ghost walk. This is how it went. I'll interject every so often with pictures and stuff, but I took a few clips. I didn't like record the whole thing or anything, but I took like a few clips and then tried to get involved the rest of the time, you know. So yeah, enjoy.
Evil. City of York. Now York has seen over 2 parties of hanging, throwing, quartering, serial killing. Mob rule, the Black Plague, and there's 2 cases of COVID-19 in this country. You're like me, and the living out. Most nice. Now, the goal of Coppergate. Number one, the body's behind some more people underneath this at this very moment. Thousands.
So yeah, I took some pictures as we were going round. I don't think they're all in the order they should be, not gonna lie. But yeah, like, some of these were just creepy as and I mean, if you guys see anything in any of the pictures, please let me know. Feel free to pause if you want to look through them, if there's any like shadows in the windows or anything. I know there is one bit in particular. There's also a couple where the focus was going really weird. There is one bit in particular where it does look like there is a shadow person in the window, but I think it was a plant or something. But the fact that we were focusing on a different window is the guy was telling us about, and all I could see is this in this window, and it just looks like a woman just like bent over, like looking out at us. And I'm pretty sure in this picture as well, which I didn't notice until I was like putting all this together to edit the other day, that that top window did not have a light on when I took the picture, and yet there is a blue light in the top window. That's fun. And yeah, the moon looked really weird that night. Very strange, but it was gorgeous. And I think it was, so we worked out there wasn't a full moon. I think it was like the day before a full moon or something. I think we worked out that it wasn't a full moon, but I might be wrong. It might have actually been a full moon. And I was like, we get something on a full moon. Honey, I love it. So yeah, all the old buildings and everything. And then you can see like the, I was going to say cathedral. You can see the Minster. That's the fucker. In the background and everything. It's not focusing. Ghost. Focus. Focusing. And then this was like one of the old pubs that is apparently really, really haunted. And I was like, yeah, I feel weird. And then like the group of us just like stood waiting the thing. My mum recorded this bit because I was like trying to pay attention and film, and yeah, so my mum offered, plus I was in a really weird spot where I couldn't really see, so my mum was like, I'll take it. So enjoy this really long but really cool story. I mean, it's not cool, it's really not cool. So this teacher was a prick, but this is the story of that, and it's not cool, but it's like interesting to know, especially if you're into your haunted shit like I am. So enjoy this next bit. I will just let him talk through it and I will be back soon.
The wine became more and more important. The singing much less. I got married here many years ago. About 6 months. Now, this is our longest story. We've got to tell you, because I want to give you the best chance of having some sort of supernatural experience whilst you're in this studio. There's somebody best sent that far, so here we are. Now, if you're going to visit a haunted building while you're in York, then you really must visit the Golden Face pub, or maybe even Treasure's house next to York Minster. Yeah, with its Roman soldiers in the dark, dank, moldy but very atmospheric cellar. But if you want to come outside to somewhere in York that's genuine haunted after dark, and the headmaster, under Feathers, overworked and behind the mountains, the market zone, was called chimney sweeps. And I'm not talking about Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. Very bodies, in and out of the streets, alleyways, and beginnings of it. Winter comes round, ash, lightning, freezing to death. The rest of the drop down in their dozens. This is an agent problem now, because the earth floor outside is frozen rock solid with the ice, and so you can't dig, you can't bury them. Somebody's issuing drunken as mad as the headmaster starts around the dead little children inside the actual school. Some of the attic. Little bits and pieces under the floor, in the cavities of the wall, carried away. Some in the cellar. Worst of all, there's a jail. Within his report, there was a large cupboard. According to this report, the head house put 3 dead children in that cupboard. Nailed it shut. Carried on drinking gin. Sprinkles around. Everything in this area starts to warm up. So there's blue bottles, flies, maggots, meal, most of all the sickly sweet smell of rotting human flesh. Now the local people covered every building is searched, top to bottom. Finally, they go to the source of the strongest smell. They go to the headmaster's living quarters. There he is. And he's lying back in the chair, drunk, singing, oblivious, and they find the cupboard. And according to that report, the cupboard door had bowed out like this. Bottom of the cupboard door, thousands of maggots, writhing, crawling, falling onto a very expensive rug. Just recently purchased by the headmaster with his ill-gotten years. Because they didn't go there. He's very dead, little boy, he's got home to that rug, along with all the scooching pupils, slide. And all these blue bottles of flies buzzing about. That point, so they say. The headmaster was insane, crazy, no daddy time. Ran, punched and kicked and strangled any child, any adult in that area. He basically was taken away with a big jacket, foaming at the mouth. He does the next thing in his cell at Naven, hearing the voices of those dead children crying out. He's insane, twisted man, he takes his feet to bed. Wraps it around his neck and hello, go, so little children. You're a wonderful. So I just want to you where they hang out most nights. About later on your own, when you've had a few drinks, you feel suggested. Talk to them. Get to know them a bit better.
So yeah, this is the street after where that guy was just talking, and this is the street where apparently like the shadow person walks down the street towards you, and if you see him you're basically dead or whatever. Interesting, right? That sounded really sarcastic, I didn't mean it like that, but can you all see it? Can you all see it? Or is it just me? It's probably just me, but near the bush. Yeah, can you see that? Maybe. Alright. Yeah, and then this was one of like the old buildings we were walking past and stuff. And then we get up to the Minster again. And we walk past there, and like on the right is like this old building. He did discuss it, I can't remember if I filmed it. So enjoy some pictures of the Minster. Here we are. All the nice pictures of the Minster. And then this was like outside of the building that he was showing us, but we couldn't really see the building, but the stories were very interesting, but I didn't really record that bit. If you want to know more, go on the ghost hunt yourself. I'm not going to be like that, but like I said, I didn't record everything because I wanted to be immersed as well in the experience. But yeah, when he asked for a volunteer at this bit, I was like, should I? I'm glad I didn't, but
For this last story, you have a willing volunteer.
But yeah, then this house was like, there was this girl during the plague or something. It was like during the plague, and then the parents like locked her up in one of the rooms, then locked themselves in another room or something, and then when the people came out, so that like obviously they board up the doors and stuff so that the plague can't spread. So when they came around to like let them out, the parents had both died of the plague, but then when they opened the room to the little girl, she had died of starvation because she didn't actually have the plague. They just locked her away as if she did, which obviously they weren't to know, but like, yeah, quite a sad story. So you're supposed to be able to see her in the little window on this house. Yeah, I don't think I caught anything, but I might have done. Some of those shadows were a bit creepy. And then we finish off with the obligatory mirror selfies. Boom. So thank you guys for joining me for this episode, this part of the York series. There is only one more left after this one. I hope you enjoyed, and the full series of the York videos will be posted soon. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Like, share, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.